Welcome to another episode of Out of Spec Dave, where today we're actually in Stamford, Connecticut. This is actually my hometown CCS Electrify America charging station. And about, I don't know, maybe 6 months ago or 4 months ago, they were redoing this whole thing. Now, they didn't put in any additional chargers, but what they did was they upgraded all of their units, with the exception, I believe, of one. I'll have to check that out. But they've upgraded all their units to 350 Hypers, right? That's the fast one, yeah. So I thought I would stop over here today and just sort of check this out, this install. We haven't really come over here. Why? Because we charge at home on our level 2. And I don't ever like to come over here. Even though we've got free Electrify America charging for a year, we don't come over here ever. But look, so far, plugged in, charged it up, and it's great. But here's the issue. We still don't have the NACS adapter yet for either the Porsche or the Audi or Volkswagen. Where is our NACS adapter, Porsche? Huh? Come on. So what we have here is a 2024 Macan 4 EV. This is my wife's car. It's spec'd out basically around $87,000, $88,000. And it's a beautifully, super well built car. You know, what's funny is that we're not used to having a car with a sunroof that opens, and you can see sort of all the dust that's on it from the spring, you know, all the pollen. And last night, after we got home, we actually left the sunroof open. Thank goodness it didn't rain. So it's all dusty inside there. Oh boy, oh boy. But you know, one nice thing that's about this Macan is that you can actually open up. Well, I guess it's locked now. Yeah, it's locked because we're charging on the other side. But you do have a J1772 here, which is the way when Kathy pulls into our garage, she can just take the charging cable and plug it right in without having to drape it over. So I do like the fact that you've got these two charging spots here. All right, so here we are at 80% state of charge. It just dipped below 90 kilowatts. So that's really, quite honestly, at this high a state of charge is excellent. It really is excellent. So in 9 minutes, plugging in at a 70% state of charge, we pulled 14 kilowatt hours. That's due to this vehicle being the high voltage, design. They've got some new graphics on these screens here, which I haven't seen in a while. Again, really haven't done much CCS charging, but listen for the click when connecting, and it does say to plug in first, which is interesting, something I've always advocated. They've got the card readers right there, and notice it says plug in first, rather than activating it on your app. So, and in addition, they've also got this new screen that says if you want to receive text updates during your charging session, you can put your phone number in. So Electrify America, I like that. There's some nice little updates here to the infrastructure. But as we walk around here, you can see we've got a 350 here. We've got a 350 right over there. We haven't really increased the number of charging stations. And this one over here has always been the CCS and the CHAdeMO. And they ripped that out as well. So no more CHAdeMO here, which is interesting. Now, way down over there on the other side of those Tesla urban superchargers, there is a unit over there. It's an EV Go unit that I know does have CHAdeMO. So if you're coming here to Stamford, Connecticut in your Leaf, you'll be able to charge. Oh, and here's Sadie. This is big old boy, big old girl. She's been here a long time, but this is where if you do come to Ridgeway, I should say, this is where you still have the CHAdeMO if you need it. So interesting. Now, you also have, obviously, the CCS. You know, a lot of guys I've seen, some of the professional drivers will use this EVgo charging. Even though it's only 50 kilowatts, this ABB, it's an old one. They, instead of going over there with their ID4s, or if they're having to pay for charging, whatever, Konas, they'll come over here because the cost for the electricity is much less. Oh boy, is this unit even online? I don't think it's online. Hold on, we gotta check this. Oh man, this thing is down. Ah, that's too bad. Sadie, looks like Sadie bit the dust. All right, well, by the way, if you have a Leaf, it may be time to get a new EV, at least in Stamford. You can't charge it here, just charge it at home. All right, so poor Sadie's down, and no NACS adapter for Porsche. Let's talk about this situation with the NACS adapter. Some people are saying that this is a deliberate thing from Porsche because they don't want to give the customer the poor experience of charging at a lower speed. Now, if you go to a Magic Dock V3, you'll pull about 135 kilowatts at a Tesla supercharger that has the embedded built-in CCS charging cable on it, and that is about half of what you can pull with at least our Macan. Now, some of the newer Taycans and Audis, they'll be able to pull faster, GTs and what have you, the 2025 Taycan, for example. But, you gotta ask yourself a question. Is Porsche really sitting there saying, oh, let's not bring out the NACS adapter because we'll only give our customers half the charging speed, even though we give them access to, let's call it 17,000 superchargers around the country? I mean, I don't think that's what's going on. I've seen that in some of the blogs, and I've heard that before. I think that's a poor argument. I just don't think they have their act together right now, and I don't think they're taking care of their customers. Now, look, Kathy bought this, leased this Macan for 3 years because she knew that the NACS adapter was coming. It's now May of 2025. We're hoping and have heard that it's coming out in June of 2025 or July. That's been a statement from Volkswagen, not from Porsche. But you gotta think that if Volkswagen comes out with the adapter, that's Volkswagen Group, which would include all of the infrastructure that goes behind the scenes. But I mean, if you think about how many manufacturers have already brought out the NACS adapter versus how many haven't, Porsche, Audi, Volkswagen, guys, I mean, great vehicle. As a matter of fact, we've had this Macan here now for 6 months and 7,500 miles, and next weekend we're going to let Kathy review her own car. Some of you who maybe saw my last review of the Macan EV didn't like my style, maybe didn't like my system. Well, listen, I listened to what you said and I dropped it. I had a point system. It didn't go over very well. Whatever. I mean, so I'm not going to do that anymore. But what we are going to do, and by the way, I appreciate your feedback. I really do. I'm just doing my best. I'm making these videos. I work full time making these videos on the side. I think you all understand that. Maybe you don't, but that's what happens. I just enjoy doing this. So let's all be kind to each other. But Kathy loves her Macan, as do I. I just don't drive it very much. But she's going to be doing her assessment. We're not even going to call it a review. Just her experience with her car over the last 6 months. And she's loving it. So as a matter of fact, she's going to be taking it down to Florida with or without the NACS adapter. Brave girl? Well, we'll see. I mean, like the EA infrastructure, and there's more infrastructure than just EA at the Naples EA charger in Naples, Florida. That's usually down and broken and crowded. So it's going to be a little bit of an adventure for her to find additional places to charge. We still don't have level 2 charging at our condo, but you know what? She's going to take her car down to Florida this summer. So that's going to be fun. Watch for the videos on that. But Porsche, look, we have a very simple request. Please come out with the NACS adapter. I don't know that you're working hard behind the scenes to do it. Maybe you could communicate a little bit more to the consumers about this, but the availability of the Tesla network and the reliability of the Tesla network, I mean, it's just this is the way it is today. Charging should not be an issue anymore when you're on long road trips. Listen, if you want to increase your sales on your Taycans and your Audis and your Macans, I think once you announce and actually more importantly, bring out the NACS adapter, that will help the situation. So we kindly ask, if nothing else, for an update. That would be amazing. So anyway, this Audi, he's plugged in. Oh, look at this. Oh boy, charger unavailable. So we're only running 7 out of 8. I wonder why that's the case. That is strange. Really interesting. Okay, so I just called Electrify America to report the fact that this charger here is unavailable. You can kind of see that on the screen right there. And they were aware of it. They said that someone else had called it in a day ago. And the reason for it is because the charging cables are showing a trigger, like they're overheating. So they have an order in, and it's been a day in there, and hopefully they'll get this thing back up online. I'll stop back in another few days and see if they actually fixed it. 7 out of 8 350s, not terrible, but it would be good, brand new units, for them to bring this back online. So appreciate the efforts of Electrify America. If you can get this unit, it is, which unit is it? Oh, it's Charger 01 here at Ridgeway in Stamford. There's also some new signage here, which is saying no parking except while charging, violators subject to fine, and it has the state statute there, 150 minimum. And then the other thing is they've input some lighting up in there, and they've also got some cameras, which is a nice addition. Now this is kind of an eerie sight down under here, because it's sort of tucked all the way back. There's a Stop and Shop over there. There's a BevMax liquor and beer store. But I'm glad to see they've upgraded this site with some cameras, video cameras as well, for surveillance. This, I don't know what that is. Is this the garbage pails that they allow us to use? That's kind of weird. Yeah, so notice here, all activities on the premises monitored by video camera, which I think is great, because it is a little bit spooky down in here. But again, this is kind of neat. I think they've increased the interface here, or improved the interface for educating people how to actually charge. Now, look at this charging station here. This says here, Electrify America is the owner and operator of this charging dispenser, but it's Ital design, which is interesting. Let's just go ahead and see if there's a different label on the unit. Okay, here we go. Who is Intertech? Oh, BTC Power. Okay. So I don't know what that what is that? Ital design. Comment below if you know what that is. I don't know what that is, but nice looking units. They're still got the green glow, and there's a total of 8 here, but unfortunately we've only got 7 out of 8 up and running. So you can see here are the actual charging units, and I was over here when they were putting these in, and boy, they came in like a real force. What's also interesting is it appears as if they've got some additional conduit run under here and additional space for more charging units. So they've done this with the spirit of expansion, and you can actually see, yeah, they're definitely they've designed this so they can actually add additional chargers here. So I think that's definitely a wise decision. So yeah, I mean, it's a good install. 93%. We've been here for 27 minutes, pulling 24 kilowatts. I think it's time for us to get going here. We're going to stop the charging session, and it's been uneventful. Let's see how long it takes for it to actually stay. It says please unplug. One nice thing that they are now warning you that you've got a 10 minutes. I mean, I think they've always done this 10-minute grace period until idle fees kick in. I forget what that's actually going to be, but yeah. So let's go ahead and unplug. These cables are still just unwieldy, pretty heavy, but I can one-hand it. There we go. All right, and we'll just plug it back in, and that's it. We've got some juice here. Thank you, Porsche and Electrify America, for the free charging session. Well, anyway, that's a wrap here from Ridgeway in Stamford, Connecticut. It's a nice install. Hopefully Electrify America will get the station number 1 that's offline back up and running soon. But look, 350s, that's the name of the game here. And, you know, we're real excited about that. So keep an eye out for Kathy's 6-month, 7,500-mile review of her Macan EV, where she's going to be giving all of her inputs, and I'm going to try and remain quiet. I don't know if I can do that. We'll see. But in any event, everyone, thanks again for watching another episode of Out of Spec Dave, and we'll catch you on the next one. Take care now. Bye-bye.